I'm Sarah Black. I'm FIGT's social media manager. Coming to you at the end of what's been a very unusual week for FIGT, with the news that we had the decision to cancel FIGT 2020 in Bangkok this year. So I'm here with Bryan, who's FIGT's president, to talk about what's happening, what's going to happen, and what's next. Dawn, for people at home, can you tell us a little bit more about the background to this decision?
Yeah. Well, first I can say that this was a very difficult decision and not one that we took lightly for a number of reasons. But the coronavirus has been a situation that we've been monitoring for the last few weeks and waiting to see what was going to happen. Of course, we were all hopeful that things would become very clear and very obvious about that we would all be able to go to Bangkok and be there. And it became clear to us that this situation continued to evolve, and there were things that were likely not going to resolve before we needed to make a decision or before the conference. And so it was really an abundance of caution and care and trying to be as wise and watchful as we possibly could in making this decision. So it wasn't made lightly, for sure. There are people on the board who have worked for a year for this conference. There are people who are well invested in this, for whom they're not going to get to see this come to fruition because they're rotating off the board. Others of whom may not be able to be at the conference next year. So we were all pained and all grieved, not just for ourselves though. I think we all love the conference. That's why many of us are on the board who give so many hours to this. And we love the conference because we love our community. And so the thought of not being together and not being able to share in that experience that is the conference, but also share in that knowledge that's passed on and the networking and all that the conference is, we are all very, very sad. We also know that many people have already invested and saved and planned, and so this is really a disruption for them of the things that they were looking forward to happening. And so just on all kinds of levels, it was a disappointment. We are also too mindful of our people who are actually part of FIGT, but who are in China, and the fact that this affects them even more than it does us. And we, we certainly want to speak words of solidarity with them and let them know that we are with them. And so we have the China affiliate is there, so a number of people who are associated with FIGT, of course, and then we have a board member who's there and several members, and so just a real acknowledgement that this touches them in a way that, even though we all felt very affected, it's not the same in comparison. So really wanted to acknowledge them as well.
No, that's wonderful. I've been lucky to see some of the responses from our community, and they've been really supportive, really moving on some occasions. Has that been the same across the board in your experience?
Yeah, and I just want to take a chance to publicly express our thanks and how supported we felt by our community, and that's sponsors and presenters and our scholars who are deeply affected by this, and all those who were part of volunteer committees and our host ISB and attendees, almost to a person. We've had nothing but just supportive comments. And even one person who said, you know what, you keep my registration fee because I love you all, I want to support you all. And it's things like that that have really helped this week as we've had to make this really hard decision. So a public thank you to everyone who has been so incredible during this time. It was another display that our FIGT community is one of the best in the world.
Absolutely. So where do we go from here? What happens next?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the beginning part of this week was really focused on making this decision and then communicating the decision and getting word out, and trying to do that in the best way possible. So we're having a couple of moments of breath after that. It was a lot of activity. It was a lot of very intense moments of hours of meeting and deliberations and trying to make hard decisions. And so I think in the next few days, we're just looking at what's ahead and what's next. And quite frankly, right now, we don't know. We do have a group of people who are working on what might be next. But at this point, it's just too early to say. So that's a long answer to say, we don't know. But thank you for being patient and looking for what's next. I can tell you that one of the things that I've enjoyed the most this week is watching the resiliency in this community. So talking with people and sharing the news, and especially with people for whom they have been very, very invested in this, and having them go from disappointment to, okay, what's next? In a very short space of time has just shown me again that, this community of people who moves globally, who consistently interacts with ambiguity and disruption and encountering things that were unexpected and perhaps unwanted, can also go, all right, how do we turn that into something beautiful?
Yep.
Right? It's not what we wanted. It's not what we expected. What can we do with it? What is this an opportunity for? And that also, that seeing that bounce back, that resilience, that creativity, that willingness to accept something that was unexpected has also been quite glorious.
I agree. A little bit of context, I suppose, is that FIGT is so much more than just 3 days of conference in Bangkok.
Yeah.
And how might people who still want to connect and get involved do that when we're not all going to be in Bangkok together? Absolutely.
I think the conference feels like a cornerstone of FIGT, but it's one part of FIGT. So certainly we have things going on all year round, and events happening all year round. So maybe I'll highlight some of those. So we have, I mentioned the China affiliate. We have affiliates all around the world, and they are having monthly activities. The Japan affiliate is having something come up soon with the TCK group, or on TCKs. I think there's something else happening in the Netherlands, but
there's a potluck party.
There we go. Yes.
All kinds of things happening.
There's so much happening with our affiliates. So that's one way to be involved and to have sort of an ongoing all year round mini conference experience maybe, but sharing knowledge and best practice and getting together. There's also a lot that happens with membership. And so if you become a member of FIGT, if you're not a member and you're listening to this, please join us. We would love that. But behind the membership wall for members are a whole host of resources and networking and sharing of past conference material, but also other material that's available that's just out there for members. We also have blogs, we have newsletters, we have research that's happening with our research network. So really, there's lots happening. It's not just the conference, but this is one of the things that we all do look forward to. But FIGT is more than a conference because it is a global community of people who are working together 365 days of the year.
Absolutely. We don't even get holidays off. Dawn, is there anything else you'd like to add for anybody who's got questions at home or is wondering what the implications of this?
Yeah, if you have any questions, there's an email address that you can write us at to ask us questions. We're happy to answer any of those. Please reach out. But I guess just to say thank you again to this community of people who have been so gracious and so kind and so with us. We felt a great deal of solidarity this week. We will be sad not to be together, but we are happy that even if we are not together at a conference, we are actually together as a community. So thank you.
Dawn, thank you very much. I will pop that email address probably on the end of this video or in the comments when we post it. And please do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Even if it's not a question, even if it's just an idea about what we might do next. That would be wonderful too.
Great.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.